It is mind-blowing to me how financially stupid people are. I mean, just seriously financially incompetent. We're so busy trying to get good grades and go to college so that we can get vocational training so I can figure out how to make my day-to-day money. But we're not actually sitting down and doing the math and realizing that if that's all we ever do, there is no way we're actually gonna get where we wanna be. I mean, at some point you wanna retire. At some point you might say, I want some financial freedom. The reality is you can't have that because you've gotten on society's bandwagon. Go to college, get good grades, get a piece of paper that says you're smart, and then what? Work for somebody else? You're gonna put your money in your 401ks, you're gonna pay off your house, right? But guess what? You get to retirement and you can't eat a paid off house. You can't eat bricks. You still need money. So then you're like, hey, I got it covered. Look, my 401k has 50 grand. Awesome, that'll last you a year. And then you're either gonna get forced back into the workforce or you're gonna have to sell your house. So all that security you thought you were saving for, it was never going to win in the end. Now don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with working an honest job, but you gotta make sure you understand it is a job, it's a J-O-B. You know what that stands for? Just over broke. Parkin's law says that we're all gonna spend plus or minus a few percent of what we make. So even if you double your income, you're gonna double your lifestyle, which means in the end you're financially doomed. This is no way to live life. You're at least not gonna be living any type of extraordinary life. I mean, do the math. Ask yourself right now in this moment, how much are you saving a year? So if you're like the average American that makes $44,000 a year, and let's say that you're saving better than most, you're saving what, $5,000? Great, you got 15 more working years, 5 grand times 15 years, that's $75,000. What's that gonna do? What's that gonna do? Give you 1 or 2 years of retirement before you're screwed and you don't have a solution again? Let's say that you're making 6 figures, you're making $100,000 and you're an extraordinary saver. You're saving $20,000 every single year. In 15 more working years, guess what you got? You got $300,000. And if you're sitting that in 401ks and IRAs, you're barely keeping up with inflation. What's 300,000 to 100 grand a year? Remember, you're saving 20, so you're spending 80. What do you got, 4 years? The reality is that society's game plan is broken. And 401ks and IRAs and just working a job, even if it's a great job, you gotta get clear right now that that's never going to give you the freedom that you're looking for. You're gonna have to get outside of the box. And the sooner you realize it, the better and faster you can do something about it right now. Do the math, do the math, do the math, do the math. Will you just pause right now and just do the math so you can really get clear on where you're at? Now listen, if you're still watching this video, let's talk solution, because I can rail all day long on how stupid society's financial metrics and system is. Instead, let me share with you what the wealthy are doing that creates an entirely different future for themselves. Number one, the very first person that a financially intelligent person pays is not their mortgage, it's not their car, it's not their cell phone, it's themselves. Right now, you are locked in the trade of trading dollars and hours. And the only way to get out of that is if you can stop and pay who? You gotta start paying yourself. You're the most important bill. You gotta invest in the real estate right between your ears. So step one, start paying yourself. How much? At first, if you're check to check, it might only be 5%, but you gotta push that to 10. You gotta push that to at least 20%. I know it's gonna stretch you, but you have got to find a way. Reevaluate your finances. Rule number one is pay yourself. Number two, once you're paying yourself, you gotta invest it. You gotta actually make that money work for you. Me, you know what I do with it. I put it in real estate. But you've got to find investments where you can be producing 15, 20, or 25% every single year. If you're too busy earning less than 10%, it's not going to compound enough to get you where you want to go. You're going to be in really big trouble. So after you pay yourself, you got to invest it, and you got to look for investments that have realistic annual ROI possibilities of 15, 20, and 25%. Once you've done those two things, here's the third one. Then you compound it and let it continue growing until your investments have produced enough of a residual income that they're now able to pay all your bills. Friends, when you do that, you've achieved what we call financial independence. You've got security, you've got enough independence that if you want to quit your job, you can leave your job. It's not about leaving something that you love. It's about making sure that you can do what you love and that you can still financially take care of your family. Don't be left out in the cold. It's time to stand up, rise up, and make something happen. Please do not waste another day, week, month, or year following a plan that you already know right now when you do the math will never get you what you want. You can do these 3 steps. You can figure out how to pay yourself first, but then you're gonna be looking for what investments can I go after that can produce a residual income that can free me from these other issues in life. And I want you to click the link below. I wanna give you my book for free. In my book, I'm actually gonna walk you through whether you're old or young, whether you have a little bit of money, whether you have no money. I'm gonna share with you step by step exactly what you do so that you can retire financially free and finally have the options to live life on your terms. Click below.